So people saying Salah going out soon. Right, I feel like we talk about the Salah situation now. Okay, and I need to give you context. So, many of you guys have come into tonight's stream and are probably wondering about the title. There's probably people yet again saying, oh, here's Craig with his sell Salah agenda, yada, yada, yada. Fair enough, but this isn't on me. This comes from somebody who, if you're aware of the stature of this man in Saudi and in sports, you will know that this is quite serious. So let me bring this up on screen for you, and you can see the quotation and you can make your own mind up. So let me bring this up. So, Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh, who is a really powerful man in the world of sport and certainly in all things Saudi Arabian sports. He was on the Ariel Helwani show and they were speaking mainly about boxing and about MMA and all the events that Saudi are putting on. But then Ariel, just at the end of the interview, asked him about Mo Salah. He said, is Mo Salah coming to play in the Saudi League next year? To which Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh said, I don't have that information, but I have information last year he accepted, but Liverpool changed their mind in the last second. He had accepted, and I think this is one of the problems that he has this year with his team. So, before anybody wants to have a pop at me again, see where this has come from. This has come from somebody very well connected in Saudi sports. So, he wanted to go last summer. And if he wanted to go last summer, I believe he'll want to go this summer. And that's why, along with other things that I've heard, I've always believed this was going to be the summer that Mohamed Salah gets sold. Now, for people who want to have a pop at me, throw their toys out with a pram, go ahead, but it ain't going to change anything. The man said what he said. He's a more than credible source. And I feel like people need to give me a bit of a break, because I've gone through a bit of abuse over this Salah stuff simply for having an opinion that is a semi-informed opinion and a logical opinion. So for me, it's bye-bye in the summertime. So Houl said Turkey is 100% truthful. Look, he is, I don't know how to describe his power, but he is a very influential man in the world of sport. You've seen the events he's pulled together with boxing, with golf and with other stuff. Say what you want, this man has been extremely powerful and extremely impactful in sport over the past while. He's a very credible voice on the situation. Nomad said, if that's true, then sell this summer. Don't want anyone who doesn't want to be at the club. There's one thing I've always said about Salah, and it's one thing that people probably have disagreed with me on. I've never fully been able to fall in love with Mo, because I've always felt it's brand Mo ahead of everything else. That's just, and you can tell me I'm wrong, and that's cool. I respect your opinion, but that's my opinion. And I've had so many instances where I felt like the whole conversation has been detrimental to the harmony inside the club and inside the fan base. So for me, I'll never say I want to see the back of somebody who has been as tremendous, as influential and as good for our football club as Mohamed Salah has. But you know what you won't see? You won't see Rami Abbas Issa jumping onto Twitter to undermine that man. You won't see him jumping on there to say that that was a lie. Because, as I said, very influential gentleman who knows what he's speaking about. Ashton said, I'm so annoyed. Salah's my favourite player, but he hasn't been performing good recently. Look, Salah's numbers have been okay this season. I'm not here to try and undermine the man's numbers, but it's been very evident to me that he's dropped off in a lot of areas. And if somebody's willing to pay a substantial amount of money, why wouldn't you cash in on a 32-year-old heading for 33 who has given you tremendous service? And as I've always said, his stature, his place in Liverpool folklore and history is cemented 100%. Those records will stand the test of time, and he deserves all the recognition he gets. But we need to stop turning on each other. We need to stop burying our heads in the sand and thinking that everything's great and that money doesn't rule everything. It does. It does, my friends. Money is a massive motivating factor in these things. So let's see what happens over the summer. I will recap that again at the end for people coming in. But if you'd like to see it for yourself, as I said, just go onto YouTube, search Ariel Helwani, and you'll see the interview on there. It's at the very end of the interview. I think 31, 32 minutes into the interview, something like that. Craig, I think the thing is, Craig, people think that Mo is bigger than the football club, and he's not. So, for me, it's a new phenomenon to me. So who was it that said that to me? Oh, I'd like to address some speak. Eddie. It's a new phenomenon for me, bro. And I missed the super chat that I'm going to get back to in a second. Sorry, I haven't forgotten Stevie Boy. It's a new phenomenon to me. Because I've never had a player at a football club since I've supported Liverpool that people are more, some people are more enamoured with the gentlemen themselves than the club. It's a new phenomenon to me. And I'm not here to judge how you support sport. But what I am here to say is, I'm not going to sit here and listen to my fellow Liverpool fans be accused of left, right and centre and everything under the sun simply for criticising a performance or a vein of form. Sometimes it can just be that people have an opinion that somebody's dropped off. But in this situation, you've seen it. You've seen the vitriol. You've seen the disgusting accusations labelled at many fans who simply don't agree that everything is amazing about Mo. It's weird. It's almost like, I don't know, I can't describe it. I've never not been able to share a genuine opinion about a player before without receiving as much backlash as there has been with the Mohamed Salah situation. But, as I said, we'll see what happens in the summer, but that man knows what he's talking about. Barry, how are you, my man? Thank you for your super chat as well, bro. Said, hi Craig, I'm actually shocked there, mate. Thought Mo wouldn't want Saudi yet and would want high-level football still to win the meaningful trophies. If this news is true, 100% he has to go and us to cash in. As I mentioned earlier on, mate, normally, like let's say as an example, if I went onto the Anfield Agenda Twitter account and said 2 days ago, last year Mohamed Salah wanted to leave Liverpool and go to Saudi Arabia, and I hit enter, guarantee you I'd be slaughtered, and potentially the likes of Rami Abbas Issa would come up and deny it. And we've seen that happen multiple times. Watch him silently say nothing when this gentleman, because as I said, Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh is a very, very prominent man in that part of the world, in all things sports. And if he says it, I mean, I don't know. I find it very difficult to see as to why he would say otherwise. Especially if you see how he conducts himself, how he speaks towards sporting fans, that he wants fans involved. He's been very open about a lot of stuff. I have a lot of criticisms of state ownership of football clubs and stuff like that. I've spoken about it openly. But I'm a respectful man. And this man, to me, has done a lot for sport. And I don't know how I feel about the whole thing in general. But I do believe that what he said there will prove to be true.